All right, today we're cracking open the secrets of one of the world's most powerful companies with the book Working Backwards by Colin Bryar and Bill Carr. You know, everyone thinks they know Amazon, but the book kicks off with a really fascinating paradox. While it's been endlessly analyzed from the outside, its internal operating system has pretty much been a black box. Well, until now. And here's the central idea of the entire book, which is a total game changer. Amazon's dominance isn't some kind of corporate magic. Nope, it's a set of concrete, repeatable processes, a system that, in theory, any company can learn from. And that's exactly what we're going to break down today.
So, here's our game plan. We'll start with their core playbook. Then we'll dive into how they hire people and create a sense of real ownership. We're going to look at their unique approach to writing and metrics, unpack those famous leadership principles, and finally, see how it all comes together to invent for the customer and build these massive global platforms.
Our guides for this journey are two real Amazon insiders, Colin Bryar, who is Jeff Bezos' chief of staff, his shadow, and Bill Carr, a key VP. They make it crystal clear that this isn't just a collection of cool stories. It's a practical blueprint for building a company that is just relentlessly efficient and customer-focused.
And here is the first huge insight. Amazon's success didn't just pop out of a few lucky, brilliant ideas. Not at all. It came from building deliberate, repeatable mechanisms. You should think of them as systems that are specifically designed to force clear thinking, a total obsession with the customer, and super disciplined execution. This right here is the operating system that runs the whole company.
So where does an operating system like that even start? Well, it starts with people. Amazon has this non-negotiable rule. Every single person you hire must raise the average talent level of the company. And to make sure that actually happens, they created one of their most powerful mechanisms, the bar raiser program.
So, what on earth is a bar raiser? Well, they're expert interviewers who are brought in from completely different parts of the company. They have zero connection to the hiring manager's team, which means they have only one job, to be the guardian of talent quality coming into Amazon.
Their role is totally unique. They are objective outsiders, and they're focused on long-term potential and cultural fit, not just whether a candidate can do the job tomorrow. They judge every single person against Amazon's leadership principles, and, this is critical, they have the power to veto any hire, even if the hiring manager is desperate to bring them on.
This whole system is designed to prevent something called talent dilution. You know, that thing that happens when companies grow super fast and start lowering their standards just to get bodies in seats. It's all based on one incredibly powerful belief. A mediocre hire will cost you so much more in the long run than just leaving a position open.
But look, hiring great people is only half the battle, right? You also have to give them clear ownership. Amazon learned the hard way that when a project has multiple owners, nobody is really accountable. Their solution is a powerful concept they call single-threaded leaders.
A single-threaded leader is given one and only one mission. They get complete authority over their team and their budget, and they are 100% accountable for the results. Basically, they are empowered to act like a startup founder just inside the walls of Amazon. This structure just cuts through all the confusion and lets teams move incredibly fast. Okay, now for one of Amazon's most legendary practices. They completely, totally banned PowerPoint presentations in meetings. Instead, every important meeting starts the exact same way, with everyone in the room silently reading a detailed 6-page memo for up to 30 minutes. I know, it sounds a little strange, but the logic is absolutely brilliant. See, PowerPoint bullet points make it way too easy to gloss over fuzzy logic and to hide lazy thinking. But writing a full narrative, that forces the author to truly think through their argument. It ensures everyone in the room has the exact same deep context, which leads to way more productive discussions. And these memos aren't just stream of consciousness writing, they follow a really strict structure. You have to lay out the context, define the goals, spell out the benefits to the customer, identify the risks, show what other options you considered, and define exactly how you'll measure success. At Amazon, writing isn't just for communicating ideas, it's the main tool for forming them.
Speaking of metrics, this right here might be one of Amazon's most powerful secrets. They make a crucial distinction between output metrics, things like revenue or profit, and input metrics. Those are the actions the team can directly control, like improving delivery speed or adding more products to the catalog. The difference is profound. Outputs tell you the score at the end of the game. Inputs are the levers you can actually pull to win it.
So what holds all of these processes together? The famous leadership principles.
And listen, at Amazon, these are not just some feel-good posters on a wall. They are the hard-coded instructions for how every single employee is expected to think and behave every single day.
The book shows how these principles are the framework for absolutely everything. Who gets hired, who gets promoted, which products get built, and how arguments get settled. Core ideas like customer obsession or bias for action, they aren't just suggestions, they are the official language of decision-making at Amazon.
So how do all these pieces, the people, the ownership, the writing, how do they actually lead to new inventions? Well, this brings us to Amazon's most famous mechanism of all, working backwards. See, most companies build a product and then they figure out how to market it. Amazon does the complete opposite. They start with a perfect customer experience and work backward from there to figure out how to build it.
The whole process centers on two key documents, a future press release and a frequently asked questions list, or FAQ. Before a single line of code is written, the team has to write a press release announcing the finished product, making it crystal clear why customers are going to be thrilled. Then, the FAQ forces them to anticipate and answer every single tough question. If the team can't write a compelling PR and FAQ, the project dies right there. No exceptions.
The story of the Kindle is just a masterclass in this process. Amazon set this incredibly bold vision. Every book ever written, in any language, available in 60 seconds.
I mean, working backward from that vision forced them to solve problems they had no business solving. They had to design hardware, build a wireless network they called WhisperNet, convince an entire industry of skeptical publishers to come along, and figure out huge technical hurdles with batteries and screens. You got to remember they were a bookstore. They had zero experience in any of this stuff. This process of inventing to solve customer problems didn't just create products, it created entire new platforms. You can take Prime Video, for example. The goal wasn't just to compete with Netflix. It was to invent another reason for customers to never, ever want to leave the Prime ecosystem.
And of course, there's Amazon Web Services. AWS wasn't born from some grand vision to sell cloud computing. It actually started as an internal project to solve Amazon's own messy infrastructure problems. It was only after they built it for themselves that they had this aha moment and realized they had created a tool that every developer in the world could use. It went on to become their most profitable business, all because they were willing to solve their own hardest problems first.
So the book really leaves us with a clear call to action for any leader. Start with the customer. Always. Force clarity by writing more. Raise your hiring bar. Obsess over the input metrics you can actually control. Create clear ownership with single-threaded teams. And treat your company's culture like a system that you have to intentionally design and build.
Because the ultimate lesson from working backwards is a really powerful one. It reframes the entire idea of innovation, not as some random stroke of lightning, but as a discipline, a process that can be learned, practiced, and systematically engineered.